No one lived on Black Hollow Road anymore. The houses weren't abandoned, they were avoided. Especially number 9. People said the house didn't trap bodies, it trapped names. And once it learned yours, it never forgot. Caleb didn't believe in haunted houses. He believed in cheap rent. Number 9 was perfect. Old, isolated, dirt cheap. The landlord never asked for references, only one strange question. You live alone? Yes. The landlord nodded. Good, don't invite anyone inside. Caleb laughed. He stopped laughing the moment the door closed behind him. The lock turned by itself. At night, the house made sounds only when he moved. When he breathed too loud, the floor creaked. When he turned, the walls whispered. When he spoke, the house went silent, like it was listening. At 1:09 a.m., he heard his name for the first time. Caleb. It came from inside the walls, not loud. Bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, closet, 4 doors. At midnight, there were 5. A narrow door at the end of the hallway. Carved into it was a single word. He touched it, Caleb. He ran back to his room and shoved a chair against the door. The house laughed. Caleb woke to the sound of something sliding across the walls. Photographs. They weren't his, but they were of him. Photos of him sleeping. It showed him asleep in bed, and standing beside the bed, something tall, faceless. On the back of the photo was written, "You let me learn you."
When Daniel was 8 years old, his mother taught him a rule he never forgot. If you hear something under your bed, never look. He didn't ask why. Her hands were shaking when she said it. 20 years later, standing alone in his childhood home, that rule returned to him like a warning carved into bone. Returning home, Daniel came back only because he had no choice. His mother was dead, heart attack, sudden. The house had been empty for weeks, rotting quietly in silence. The moment he stepped inside, the air felt wrong, too thick, too warm, like something had been breathing without him. The house still smelled the same. Old wood, dust, and something faintly sour. At night, it smelled worse. The first sound. On the first night, Daniel slept in his old room. Bad decision. At 2:34 a.m., he woke to a soft noise. Scratching, slow, careful. Coming from beneath his bed, his body froze instantly. The room was dark, but he didn't need light to know where the sound came from. It was close, too close. Scratch, scratch, pause. Something was listening. His mother's voice echoed in his head. Never look. Daniel squeezed his eyes shut and pulled the blanket over his face. The scratching stopped. The second night, the next day, he searched the house. No animals, no holes, no crawl spaces under the bedroom. That night, he pushed the bed against the wall and slept on the floor in the living room. At 2:34 a.m., he woke again. The scratching was back.
When Rowan inherited his great-uncle's mansion, he expected creaking floors, cold rooms, and the smell of old wood. He didn't expect the 13th door. The mansion was huge, wrapped in fog, standing at the edge of the forest like it didn't want to be found. The lawyer handed him the keys with a strange warning. "Do not open any door that wasn't there before." Rowan laughed it off. Old people, old superstitions. But the moment he stepped inside, he felt the house breathing. Dust drifted in slow circles. The chandelier swayed even though the air was still. His footsteps echoed too loudly, as if the house replied with each step. He counted the bedroom doors on the second floor. 12 rooms, 12 doors, just like the blueprints said. But at midnight, when Rowan walked upstairs again with a mug of tea, his heart stopped. There was a new door. Oak wood, black handle. No dust on it at all, as if someone had just installed it. Above it, carved deeply into the frame, 13. Rowan blinked hard. "There were only 12, he whispered. His breath fogged the air. The temperature had dropped suddenly, violently. He touched the door handle. It was warm. He pulled his hand back instinctively. Something was wrong, deeply wrong, but curiosity gnawed at him like a living thing. Probably a closet, he muttered. He opened the door. Inside was a small room, lit by a single candle. No windows, no furniture, just a wooden rocking chair facing the wall.